Is up, everybody? Jiggy Gang in the building. How are we doing? Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. Hallelujah. We're alive another day on this planet we call home. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty well, thank you. So, first thing first, I wanna apologize for the crappy, horrible, disgusting, tasteless audio that was recorded for the first episode of Boxing News. I promise from here on out we will have just as best audio as I can get. So it's going to be more of regular uploads. I also want to apologize for the space and uploads that was, the first kind of episode of this new series on this channel. And so there will be more to come. I had some personal matters to deal with. I just actually got a new job, which I'm really excited about. But nonetheless, that doesn't take away from the kind of content that will be produced on here. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to. Jiggy Gang, obviously, you're here right now. You know what it is, baby. Okay, so here we are. Episode 2 of Boxing News today, July 21st. Let's dive right into it, alright? The first thing we're going to cover today, and as always, of course, I'll have all my topics that we talked about in this video down below in the description box. So whenever you're, coming onto my videos, go ahead and click that description, drop down the description, and you will see all the topics that are going to be covered in the video today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start it off by the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, shout out to Michael Buffer, making his long-awaited and totally unasked for return into boxing at 48. He's younger than I thought. Okay, 48. And I mean, Mike Tyson came back in his 50s, right, against Jones Jr. So whatever. Okay, this is the state of boxing in 2021. Welcome to boxing. Yay. Okay. Anyways, so who is going to be the Golden Boy's his opponent? Well, I'm glad you asked, because drum roll please. Vitor the Phenom Belfort is going to be Oscar De La Hoya's opponent. The former UFC fighter, former UFC champion. And that was a long time ago that he was champion, but it was a long time ago that either of these were champion. So, nonetheless, they will be squaring off on Triller Fight Promotions pay-per-view, probably another $49.99 pay-per-view. And after the Jake Paul Triller event, they're gonna have to do a little bit better work to get my money. But getting Oscar De La Hoya on there is definitely gonna give him some buys. And so let's talk about this matchup here. You know what? Screw that. Let's talk about Triller for a minute, okay? Now, if you were a fool like me and you bought the Jake Paul pay-per-view, you of course seen the ridiculousness that went on at Triller. And there's really not much else to be said. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. It was not what we expected. Like Ben Askren said, I've got a bunch of kids that are watching me, and I kind of feel bad now, because they're all gonna see oh wow, we didn't know he was fighting on this kind of a pay-per-view. Whatever. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you heard about it, you heard about it. Triller. Okay, and let's not forget the whole Teofimo Lopez incident. That fight being postponed, possibly canceled against Kambosos. More on that in a future video. Due to the old Rona. Yes, Teofimo said he has the Rona, just like Tyson Fury apparently has the Rona. And okay, whatever. You guys missed your vaccine, or what's going on? I thought we wouldn't have to worry about the Rona. But anyways, so now that Triller's out of the discussion here, the last thing I'll say about it is, look, I like the idea of a $50 pay-per-view. That's not bad price at all. For the fights we've seen were all pretty awesome on the Jake Paul card. I really liked the Frank Mir fight especially. Frank Mir did an incredible job against a very, very game opponent. I know it. Steve Cunningham, of course. How could I forget? Steve Cunningham, he put on a great performance as well. Looking fantastic at his age. Both men really were. That was a great fight. Great fight. So for Triller, what I can say is, let's be more focused on the quality of our event, and let's have a little more order. I mean, it just felt, the whole thing felt to me, for lack of a better term, ghetto. It felt ghetto to me, that whole event. But what can you do? You've already paid your money. You can't get it back. Now you're stuck with the fight. You know what I mean? So, it's an up-and-coming boxing promotion. What can you do? You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. And so you pay your money and you get the result you get. But that's not to say that they can't do a better job this time, as far as, a different kind of spectacle. And I'm sure the De La Hoya fight, versus Vitor will be a totally different spectacle than the Jake Paul fight. Of course, that's two totally different audiences for the most part that were going to be tuning into that fight. So now let's get on to the bread and butter of this discussion. What are your guys' thoughts in the comments below? Let me know. With De La Hoya's opponent being announced as Vitor Belfort. I mean, we've been waiting to hear who's he going to fight, and sure enough, Vitor Belfort. Okay. Let me be very, very clear. The first thing that comes to mind is De La Hoya is going to win this fight. And that's not to say that Vitor Belfort doesn't have a chance, but it is to say that De La Hoya in a boxing ring, even at 48 years old, I just don't see, honestly, I'm going to put it out there, any UFC fighter beating him, as long as the weight classes are strict. That being said, I don't see it. It's Oscar freaking De La Hoya, okay? And this feels like, they're trying to capitalize on it's another UFC guy versus a big time, big name boxer, And let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, if not more, it's always favored the boxer in these matches. We've seen that. Cunningham, Mir, we've seen that. Paul Askren, we've seen that. The only exception, really, that we have seen as of recently is the Anderson Silva win against Julio Chavez Jr. And if we're being honest, Julio Chavez Jr., he was never a top-tier boxer. Yes, he won a belt. Yes, he's a former champion. But the guy got schooled against Canelo, too. Like, Canelo literally did not sit on his stool the entire fight against Chavez Jr. And I know that's drudging up the past. I know that's a while ago. But even that being said, I seriously thought, I was hopeful that Anderson Silva could defeat Chavez Jr. Just knowing the history between the two fighters. Silva he loves fighting. He's wanted to box for so long, and he finally did that and showcased himself. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a big win for the MMA community. Finally one of their guys had pulled it off against a boxer. Finally, they'd seen it in a boxing ring, with the 12-ounce gloves. They finally had seen it. Okay, so honestly, I think that this De La Hoya Belfort fight, it's going to be a beatdown for Vitor Belfort. Unless he comes out with a takedown or something crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Unless he finds a way to really work on the inside of De La Hoya. And even then, man, De La Hoya has the body combinations. He's just, he's proficient. He's proficient with boxing. And to put him on against a guy in Vitor Belfort, that sure, he has power, but he's not exactly a great boxer by any means. So I don't know, man. This to me looks like, a throw-in fight for De La Hoya. And I'm sure the betting odds will show that. But yeah, if I had to go with opinion, it's an 8-round official bout, so it's not an exhibition like the Logan Paul, junk we seen. Well, actually, it was pretty amazing for Logan Paul, let's be honest, but everybody else got ripped off that night. And anyways, okay, so yeah, it's gonna have to be a De La Hoya win. It's a throw-in for De La Hoya. This is setting up a return for him to fight a bigger name. I see this as being a pretty obvious De La Hoya victory. Whatever, we shall see. Out of 8 rounds, I'm gonna have to say De La Hoya round 6, or I feel like he's gonna get him in the later rounds. De La Hoya round 7 TKO. Round 7 TKO. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna say the ref jumps in and stops the fight in round 7. You heard it here first, okay? So the date they're saying is gonna be September 11th, but I've also heard October 11th. Either way, it's going to be later this year, after summer. And so the commentary team is going to be Snoop Dogg once again, with HBO's Jim Lampley. So make of that what you will. We will see. You know, as far as pay-per-view buys, I really wonder what this event could do. It's gonna be interesting to see the numbers, as far as where they are fighting. Oh, at Los Angeles, I believe I noted that earlier in the video. And so it'll be interesting to see the pay-per-view numbers, what comes out, you know. We will see. I'm going to leave it there. Let's go to our next topic. Okay, so Anthony Joshua claiming that Usyk is just as good as Tyson Fury. Okay, now I find this to be kind of funny because they're trying to sell this fight. They're trying to work their ass off to sell this fight. And, you know, you can't blame Anthony Joshua for what he said, but I don't know how I feel about that. I can't say that I definitely disagree, but it's so tough to say, man. It really is. Their styles are just really different. Tyson Fury and Usyk, they're just different fighters. Now that would be a fight that I would love to see. Usyk versus Fury. Can we get that fight next? Okay? Forget Joshua Fury. Forget Wilder Fury and then Wilder Joshua. Let's just go Usyk versus Fury. You know what I mean? But anyways, Joshua versus Usyk is going to be one hell of a fight. Saturday, September 25th, WBO, WBA, IBF World Heavyweight Championships. 3 of the 4 belts on the line. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Probably end up going the distance, a battle. This is going to be an awesome fight. I'm excited for this fight. You guys should be as well. So, as far as predictions, you know, Anthony Joshua is going to win this fight. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a decision victory. I really do. So, just to be on the safe bet, I'm going to say Anthony Joshua 12th round unanimous decision. No love lost for Usyk if he loses this fight, but if Usyk wins this fight, that changes everything in the heavyweight division. That changes everything. That flips the heavyweight division on its freaking head, man. If Usyk can pull this fight out, that changes everything. I mean, you're talking a lot of lost money between HBO and whoever is gonna be promoting the fight. But that's a lot of lost money, you know. If Usyk beats Joshua, man, that's tough. That is tough. Okay, so, and it's gonna be on DAZN actually, or DAZN, excuse me, whatever you want to call it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think is taking this one and when? Joshua, Usyk. So that will be this September. And let's compare Tyson Fury and Usyk's records. Let's just pretend that Anthony Joshua knows what he's talking about, that he's not just trying to talk to sell a fight. Let's pretend he actually knows what he's talking about. Okay, so Tyson Fury, 30-0, 30 wins, no losses, 21 knockouts. Of course, the one draw to Deontay Wilder, which if you watch my episode 1 of Boxing News, I said, hey, I believe, in my humble opinion, that Deontay Wilder, won that fight. That first fight, I believe that Deontay Wilder won that first fight against Fury. And you can say what you want, but when you knock a guy down like that, that's tough, baby. That's tough. I think I got to give you the win, you know what I mean? But that's not what happened. I'm not the judges. So, hey, it is what it is, but if I was a judge, man, I'd be making some good money doing that. Shoot. You know what I mean? Especially you get the Canelo fights. Yeah, because you're getting paid, Canelo gonna give you that cash to give him that, you know what I mean? That little extra point or two in that card. Hey, give me some cash. I'll put an extra point or two in there for you, buddy. Big dog. All right, but Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 30-0, 21 knockouts. The WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Usyk 18-0, 13 KOs. 34 years old. Tyson Fury is 32 years old. And, you look at some of the guys that they've fought, and, man, they have both fought some real dogs, in the heavyweight division and came out on top, so you can't discredit it. They're both fantastic boxers. They're both outstanding, but, Tyson Fury, man, he's a better promoter, a better trash talker. I mean, but Usyk literally might be a better peer boxer than Fury. I'll say that. We'll leave it there. Let me know your comments down below. Who you think's better, Usyk or Tyson Fury? All right. Last but not least, everybody, before I get up on out of here, we have this ESPN article talking about, will Canelo Alvarez become undisputed, or can Caleb Plant pull off the upset? Now, this fight they've been trying to make this fight for a while. Obviously Canelo wants to unify all 38 belts of boxing. And so, of course, he's going to start with the middleweight division. I mean, shoot, he's already got some light heavyweight belts. I mean, shoot, might as well move up to heavyweight, Canelo. Let's get you on them roids. Let's get you up there, big dog. And so, this is an interesting fight. Supposedly, it's going to happen this year. I would love to see that, and I really would. I mean, Canelo, he's going to stay busy. He's going to find someone to fight. But he wants this fight bad. He wants this Plant fight. This is what's motivating him. He's not even, really concerned about the money. He's got the money. He's concerned about putting his legacy together, crafting his legacy. And it's truly inspiring. It's amazing to see. And for Caleb Plant, what can you say about Brody? You know what I mean? Just protect your head in that. Protect your head, protect your body. Land a few shots, do what you can, but you more than likely gonna get crushed, man. I'm sorry. You are more than likely gonna get crushed, buddy. Okay, Plant is 29. Canelo is, I believe he just turned 30. Let me double check that. Canelo Alvarez 31. Caleb Plant 29. Obviously two different stratospheres essentially of fighters. Canelo Alvarez is working on legendary status, you know what I mean, and Caleb Plant is just kind of in his way basically, and that's how everybody's looking at that fight, and that's how this fight really should be looked at. We haven't really seen Canelo be in a lot of trouble with some fights. They say the Laura fight, I might have to double check that one and see that one, but Canelo has been on a roll, to say the least. So, let me know your guys' thoughts below. Do you think this fight is going to happen this year or not? I don't know. We'll see. I think that, if they can get it done, they can get it done. But, I mean, are you guys going to get it done? Nah, that's the question to me. So, let me know your thoughts below. All right, y'all. I'm going to head out. Y'all be easy now. Jiggy Gang, I love you. We're going to try to upload more and more. I'll keep you guys posted. And big news coming in the future. That's all I can say. Episode 2, baby. We out. Peace.